If you want to have high quality, close online racing, a racing simulator has to have some kind of ranked racing system. Thankfully, for a while now, RaceRoom Racing Experience has had just that, in the form of its daily and weekly ranked races. Rather excitingly, unlike iRacing, RaceRoom Racing Experience ranked racing won't cost you an arm and a leg, which is not only great as it's easier to drive with all your body parts intact, but it means more people can enjoy high quality sim racing. Recently I've been giving the ranked racing a bit of a test in RaceRoom, so I thought I'd share with you guys what I discovered and whether or not it's something you would likely be interested in. Welcome back to the Gamer Muscle YouTube channel, a place where many arrive and few leave with their brains still intact. Now, as always, I'd like to get straight to the point for those of you that don't want to watch the video but clicked on it anyway. Is RaceRoom Racing Experience ranked races good, fun, enjoyable and worth trying? Yes. Yes, it's really quite good. I have to say, it is really quite good fun, nice racing, good value for money, can't go wrong. You may now leave and just go and play it. What are you doing watching videos when you could actually be sim racing? But for those of you that want to stick around, and for those of you that are now wondering, how do I do the ranked racing? What content do I need to get? And why is Gamer Muscle so damn sexy? I'll tell you. So the way RaceRoom works is that it is technically a free-to-play game, and you can just download it for free and try all the cars out actually offline for free, so you can see if you like the cars or not. But if you want to join an online race or the ranked races, you'll need to get at least one car from the series that are racing. So for example, if the ranked server is GT3, or as RaceRoom call it, GTR3, then you'll need one GTR3 car from the game. I personally recommend the Porsche. I like how the Porsche's driving this, and in all simulators actually, because Porsches are fantastic. But if you've got one car from that series that's racing, and then the track that's racing, you will be able to join, and you'll be able to join any of the online servers that happen to be running that same class and track. Before you go and buy cars and tracks individually hodgepodge, what I would recommend doing is instead buying something like the Pro Pack, which comes with 31 cars and 13 tracks, and then maybe adding tracks and the one-off car to that if they happen to run something that's not already covered in what you've bought. If you're a big spender and you just want to be done and dusted, you can get the premium pack, which then just unlocks everything. It works out between £50 and £80 depending on if you're getting it at sale price or full price. Lastly, because RaceRoom enjoys being as convoluted as stupid as possible when it comes to actually selling the product, the best way to save money is to buy VRRP and then apply that to your account. I'll put a link in the description linking you to the place to get that, so it's nice and simple. And if I have a discount code, I will put that above the link so you can then apply that to your purchase to hopefully save even more money. Fantastic. Obviously, with whatever content you buy, you can do offline racing with AI or join any server you want that's running the content that you've got and do online racing with your friends, or what you'd normally do in any simulator. But in this video, we're here for the ranked racing. So if you've just got a new account and you started out, what you'll have to do with the ranked racing is, of course, build up some rep. It's like you're a gangster on the streets. You've got to choose your colours, and then you have to go and murder some innocent person on a street corner to get your rep high. That's how it works in RaceRoom, only instead of shooting an innocent person, you have to overtake them on a racetrack. So for you to build your rep, they have at the moment two what they call permanent servers running your slower vehicles that you typically do your milk shopping in. So right now they've got the 235i BMW M series at Zandvoort, and then they've got the Audi Sport Cup of TT Cup 16 running at Suzuka. So you have to join those servers, which are constantly looping around, drive cleanly, win those races and gain that street rep, so you can then join the proper ranked servers, which require you to have a rank or rep of 75 plus, or in some cases 80. They'll keep changing it depending on the balancing. At the moment it's if you've got a rep of 80, you can join any server. So those other pro servers at right now, which they keep every week, they change the content on it, but right now they're running FR3, which is what you can see on the video. Absolutely fantastic. I'll talk a bit more about this car later in the video. They're running the DTM 2020. So the F3 and the DTM 2020 run every hour. So on the hour, you know that there's going to be a ranked F3 or DTM race that you can join in and race against other people every hour. Great. And then every half past the hour, they have a WTCR race or a GT3 race. And each of them are running on different tracks. What's really nice is the timing of things work out that you can do the GTR3 or the WTCR race, and then when you finish that, if you're quick, you can then get into the DTM or the FR3, which means that you can just drive a different car, different track for like 2 or 3 hours. It's really addictive. You can just go from race to race and then maybe go back and do the original race, and then, but you know, before you know it, your wife's left you, you spent too much time in a sim rig, but you enjoyed it all, so it doesn't matter. Now, in addition to those daily half-hour and on-the-hour races, there's also a weekly endurance race on Wednesdays, with the practice starting at 7 PM and then having a quali and then an hour-long race. At the moment, that's in the DTM 2020 at Moscow Raceway, but of course, every week that weekly race will change. I think they'll stick to DTM for a while, but you know, the track will change. And of course, every week, the on the hour, the permanent servers, and the half past the hour servers will all have a change of track. They're probably going to keep running the same cars. Now, when it comes to actually joining the servers, it's pretty simple. There's the practice time, which you can join. I think up to 3 minutes left in practice, you can join the server. But then once it's gone into quali, that's it. The server's locked off. It's the people that are in the quali are then obviously going to be in the race. It's effectively a closed server. You get 5 or so minutes qualifying to then put your lap time in to then position you in the race, and that happens for every single race. But it's really nice. It works really, really well. It's surprisingly simple, but it works. And as I say, it's timed just right so that you can go from doing a GTR3 race to then doing a DTM race to then going back to maybe doing a WTCR to then going to do a FR3 race and vice versa. So there, you know, you could easily spend 4 hours in an afternoon and not drive the same thing. And also, in each of those categories, so in the GTR3 stuff, you've got tons of GT3 cars, so you could drive different GT3 cars to mix it up a bit. As you do the races and get results, ideally you get better, you beat people, you increase your ranking, and then that gives you a ranking score that places you on the RaceRoom global scoreboards, which is really nice because then you can see all the names and the countries that people are from, and stuff. It displays stuff from your account, like you can have a little, if you can set your own racing team and things, and so you can see how well you're doing against your friends and everything. And it's all listed on the game.raceroom.com/multiplayer-rating website. So it's just really addictive trying to get as high up as possible on the rankings by beating people in the ranked servers. So in terms of the actual quality of the racing, I've just recently done about 6, maybe like 10 hours or so of the ranked racing. As I say, it's quite addictive. And I'd say the quality is pretty damn good, really. I mean, a large part of that is because you can have car contacts in RaceRoom and the netcode's very forgiving and the cars don't do crazy things. But really, for the most part, people are generally behaving themselves. I mean, obviously you get the T1 accident, but no different from iRacing or when I've done Sim Racing System or other ranked services. You know, it's racing. There's always going to be someone with the bigger ego that causes a crash. That's just part of motorsport and simulated motorsport. Crucially, what I haven't seen are outright wreckers, and I think RaceRoom have been, you know, like the Stasi. They didn't put them in the gulag straight away, so they're gone. And you know, when this is the big thing with ranking systems and rating systems, you're motivated not to wreck people, because if you, in the context of a race on this, you can have 30 incident points, track cuts, car contacts, and you just get auto kicked. So you generally try not to cut. But also, you know, you're going to lose ranking points in general, and your actual sort of safety rating, if you will. And then if you're going to be a wrecker, you're just going to get banned, so you're not going to be able to actually enjoy the racing. So the ranking system generally just fosters an environment of competitive race driving. And one thing I really enjoy about the RaceRoom online, as well, is the penalty systems are really nicely done. For if you track cut, you get warnings. If you do an aggressive track cut, you will get a like a time, but you have to slow down for a certain amount of time. But you don't have to do it immediately. You've got a minute to serve that, and the track cut detection is all really nicely done. It's not like a guy with a laser marker waiting for you to go millimetre over the limit. It's nice. It's nicely set up on all the tracks I've been racing. Didn't get in the way of the race driving, and allowed for some absolutely stonking side by side driving and aggressive overtakes, which is just good fun. And I think now is a good time to actually talk about the physics in RaceRoom. So obviously RaceRoom is another driving simulator. As I always say, every racing simulator has its own interpretation of real-world physics, and RaceRoom is no different. There's certainly things in RaceRoom that will do your head in a little bit. Autobin.exe, which is the propensity for the cars in a very specific state on heavy braking when being at the limit, for the rears to just lose it and you can't catch them. You have to learn where that is going to occur to then avoid it, to stop it from happening. And also the auto bin is massively increased from tyre wear, so you just have to drive a lot more carefully to not put tyre wear on your tyres. But aside from autobin.exe, the vast majority of the handling characteristics in RaceRoom are just really satisfying. You can be super aggressive, you can really push the cars, you can really hammer the curbs. It's like, there's always going to be an argument that people will say, well, this car is more realistic in this sim, or this is less like the real world car because the real world car laps at this time, or his tighter is looser, whatever. Personally, I couldn't give a damn. If it generally drives like a car and it doesn't do anything massively stupid, then it's going to be a fun racing simulator. It's going to be fun to do racing against other people. And thanks to the ranked racing combined with the RaceRoom physics, it's just fun. And I have to say, there's much less irritating handling aspects to RaceRoom than there are in iRacing. Sick burn. I do really enjoy iRacing. With all this, if you play all the simulators, you immediately become aware of the irritating aspects in each sim, and then you're like, oh, why can't we have the perfect sim? So but all said and done, as I say, it's just fun in terms of the handling. Now, when it comes to force feedback, I feel like you get all the information you need to drive from. Again, with force feedback, some people are looking for a certain type of force feedback, which I think is stupid, because you're never going to get that. Every sim's going to feel different. What you should really be looking for is, can you feel what the car's doing in each sim, even if it's communicating that in a slightly different way? ACC feels, with the Porsche Cups, not the GT3 cars, but ACC with the Porsche Cup cars feels massively different to RaceRoom. But in both sims, you can tell what the cars are doing through the force feedback. Assetto Corsa 1, massively different to RaceRoom, but you can feel what the car's doing through the force feedback. That's the key thing. You should have that. You should have that feel for the car through the force feedback, and I definitely feel that RaceRoom gives you that. And what's really nice as well is, that force feedback combined with the sort of semi-pliable physics. This F3 car that we're driving here it's just so fun. You can really smash it on the throttle, on the brakes, overdrive it, and then, overdrive it to a point where that's slow, and then bring it down a bit so you're actually not overdriving it, but you're holding a little bit of slip in the right places, which then gives you the margin for doing more aggressive overtakes, where you're both offline, the guy you're overtaking and yourself, and you maybe have to do some bit of unconventional driving, and the kind of stuff that you just see in real world racing all the time, especially in rookie racing. So that is the bulk of it. In terms of being a bit more negative, I will say, if you're one of our American viewers, or one of those people in upside down land in Australia and New Zealand, which I know we have quite a few people from over those parts of the world. Welcome to this video. I will say it seems that this sim is very Euro-centric, and these ranked servers reflect that as well. So if you're in the UK or Europe, you're pretty much fine through most of the day. As long as it's sort of midday 12 up to about midnight, you will get plenty of full service to race on. But those of you in the weirdo time zones that us Europeans don't care about, that sort of 2 a.m. to midday is where it kind of dies down a bit. Get ready for this. Whoa! Almost caught it. Almost caught it. AstroTurf. We had the full load. The tyres are balked, and I AstroTurfed it. Merry Christmas to Java Borson. The other guy there. Can't believe I did that. What a noob. But yeah, if you're in Europe, you'll at the times when you're not at work, in the afternoons especially, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. is cracking. But outside of those time frames, it can be a lot harder to find races. So that's worth keeping in mind. But yeah, given the price of it, let's keep in mind this is literally 1/50th to maybe 100th the cost of iRacing, and you still get fantastic racing. Maybe not if you're a super high skilled player and you've got a specific taste in car that's only on iRacing, fine. But if you're that in between phase, or you're actually representative of your average sim racer, this is more than enough and great. So it's yet another one to add to the list. We've got RaceRoom ranked servers, proper addictive, fantastic, very good value for money. We've got Assetto Corsa Competizione. Absolutely, you can get really fantastic race on that where you do it in your communities. Or you've got stuff like SimGrid and other services with daily races and stuff. Bloody fantastic. You've got Sim Racing System on Assetto Corsa, the original Assetto Corsa, totally free. That's like £9 and you're done. Amazing. Absolutely superb. Really good times for people that want to do some clean, competitive online racing and not blow the bank account out. Save that money on your sim, put it on your DD, have a better time. That's what I say. So, I'm really pleased with the ranked racing in RaceRoom racing experience. I highly recommend it. Get yourself sorted out. Link in the description for this, as I say. Obviously, if you've got any questions, you can drop them in the comment section. Obviously, if you want to catch us when we go live, subscribe, dingle dangle the bell and all that business. But yes, until the next video or live stream, appreciate you watching. Hope you've got a cup of tea and have some happy tea drinking. But until the next video, goodbye everybody.